Have you ever wondered why a rubber band snaps back to its original shape when you stop stretching it? Or why a spring bounces back after being compressed? Well, there's a fundamental principle that governs this behavior, a principle known as Hooke's law. So, what is Hooke's law? At the heart of it, Hooke's law is a principle in physics that explains how elastic objects behave when they're stretched or compressed. It establishes a clear, linear relationship between the amount of force applied to an object and the degree of its deformation. In layman's terms, this means that the force needed to stretch or compress an object is directly tied to the extent of its stretching or compression. Let's break this down a bit more, shall we? Hooke's law is often expressed in a simple mathematical formula, F equals K times X. In this equation, F stands for the force you're applying, K is what we call the spring constant, and X represents the amount of deformation the object experiences. The spring constant is an interesting component here. It's a unique property of the material you're dealing with, and it reflects how stiff the object is. Think of it this way. A higher spring constant means you're dealing with a stiffer object, and you'll need to apply more force to deform it by the same amount. Here's an important thing to remember about Hooke's law. It's all about proportionality. If you double the force you're applying, you'll double the deformation. But there's a limit to this. If you apply too much force and exceed what we call the elastic limit, the material might not bounce back. It could end up permanently deformed, or it could even break. This law isn't just a fascinating piece of physics trivia. It has practical applications in a wide range of fields. Engineers use it when they're designing springs or shock absorbers. Physicists refer to it when studying vibrations or sound waves, and seismologists use it to understand how the Earth's crust responds to the forces unleashed during an earthquake. So, to summarize, Hooke's law is a fundamental principle that explains how elastic objects behave when force is applied to them. It's all about the relationship between force and deformation, and it's key to understanding how materials respond to the stresses and strains they encounter in the world around us. It's a principle that finds its way into a wide range of scientific and engineering fields, making it an essential piece of knowledge for anyone interested in understanding the physical world.